Greetings to everyone out there in YouTube land. I'm Ahmed Hassanin, and I just want to give a shout out to Coach Dan. Thank you for all the support you show the team and the players. Everyone hit the like, subscription button, and yell woo in the comments. Thank you, and go Lions.
What's going on, guys? It is Aiden Hutchinson.
What's up, man? It's your boy Amon-Ra St. Brown.
What's up to Lion Talk Live? So we love you too, buddy.
What's up, everybody? It's Calvin Johnson Jr. here, a.k.a. Megatron, a.k.a. First Ballot.
Greetings and salutations to everyone out there in YouTube land. This is Dan Skipper, offensive weapon for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you all help support Lions Talk Live, Coach Dan, by clicking on that like and subscribe button. Everybody, woo!
Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your momentary host, Dan O'Damas, and I am here to foretell the future of the Detroit Lions as they will record a 44-30 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. Jared Goff will have over 300 yards passing. Jahmyr Gibbs will have 3 touchdowns scored. This unforeseen person emerges on the defense. Aliquid Muhammad for 3 sacks. And Aiden, the hitman Hutchinson, will record several pressures. In fact, I foretell 10 pressures. Also, this will compel the Detroit Lions to emerge and rise up and make their way towards the postseason, where they will go on an epic 3-game victory track to go to the Super Bowl and win it all. I am Dan O'Damas. I'm all-knowing. And, hey, if you want delicious Mountain Dew, go to your local Circle K. Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host, once again, Dan Thornton. Hey, I want to thank Dan O'Damas for being a day late and a dollar short with that bold prediction. But you know what? I do think he's right about one thing. I do think the Detroit Lions are going to the playoffs this year. And if you look at the structure of both their offensive and defensive lines, a lot of things are starting to emerge with that wide receiver core. I think you could say we're even figuring out how to use both running backs a little bit more. And with that, it's my belief the Detroit Lions will get to the playoffs and be the toughest out in the NFC as far as a road team making their way through. You look how the team's constructed. You look how they're built across the board. My opinion doesn't have to be your opinion. I think they play outdoors. I think they play indoors, and nobody wants them coming into their house. Is it possible the Lions could still host a playoff game? It is, but I'm going to be as fair when saying this as I can be. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Ford Field's going to get lit up this year for the Lions hosting a first-round game. That also being said, I think all Lions fans would be happy one thing: get to the playoffs, win a playoff game, win a couple playoff games, get to the Super Bowl, and I do think it's on the table for the Detroit Lions this year. Before we get into the main topic, as you looked at this thumbnail leading into this one, I also think some further good news for the Detroit Lions. Losing someone like Brian Branch would be devastating to any defense. There's no replacing him. So no matter what the opinion of today's show is, Brian Branch is done for this year. And yes, it's a loss. But with that being said, Lions might just have one of the best answers to their dilemma in across the NFL already here and ready to go. We'll analyze this in depth during the main topic of the day. Before we get to all that, though, you guys know we're going to have 5 headlines now. And before we get to that, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. Making that march for 15,800 subs, or about 90 subs away from that. So if you can assist with that, I would be thankful. If you have a half second of time while hitting that subscribe button, reach on over, hit the thumbs up button, the like button, hit all the buttons while you're at it. Try to get every episode of the show between 200, 300, 400 or more thumbs up or likes. Last but never least is, the holiday seasons are upon us. If you're looking perhaps for a stocking stuffer or maybe just a gift for somebody who likes to read, then perhaps you'll consider going over to Amazon.com or wherever you find good reading literature. Order yourself a copy of Kajora book. It is the first of a 9-part series. The second book in the series releases next week. So go ahead and check it out. Kajora book, if you like historically accurate fictional novels that center around Native American, Japanese, Asian cultures. Check it out. If you like it, leave a kind review wherever you purchased it. All right, all that done, out of the way, let's get this show rocking, rolling, moving forward, and kicking off with 5 headlines now. All right, 5 glorious headlines coming at us. Let's get into it with the Detroit Lions grades against the Dallas Cowboys. Defensive line shines. I don't think there's any kind of question about it. You don't have to be Dan O'Damas to be able to see the Lions brought some heat this week. SI.com story by Christian Bower. And, you know, the Lions defensive line was one of the headlines out there, but let's start with the quarterback spot. Quarterback Jared Goff receives a B from Sports Illustrated, talking about taking a beating earlier in the game. The Cowboys brought some heat, got to him. Lions had an in-game reshuffle the offensive line. To be fair, they did it a few times. What we do know is Goff is now the second fastest person to ever record, over 50 300-yard passing games. There's only one person in the league who's done it faster in the history of the NFL. I'll give you $1 if you can think of who it is. 1, 2, 3. That's Patrick Mahomes. That's right. There's a whole lot of people that do not love Jared Goff. That's probably the fastest way and easiest way to say it when it comes to his time in the NFL. But we also have to give some props. Nobody has ever thrown the ball around better than him in this point in their career, who's not named Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, I think we all agree he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Where do you put Jared Goff? Well, Jared Goff in this particular game, he was on point. He was accurate. He moved the ball. He did take some deep shots, something that had been kind of lacking from the Lions passing attack basically for the vast majority of the season. My opinion, why that emerged, the strength of the offensive line started emerging. You could see MCDC's play calling as the game progressed. He had more and more faith that Goff would have 3-4 seconds to throw some of the deeper shots, and it merged. I think this is going to be something all Lions fans are going to want to watch going forward the rest of the year. Running backs, it was the most explosive night for either running back, but let's be honest, they both did have some explosive plays. Dave Montgomery went for like 1,000 yards on one play and got in the end zone. Gibbs recorded 3 touchdowns, had a gajillion yards receiving on 7 catches, 77 yards to be fair. But while they were not awesome on the ground, they were awesome in a totality. You could say that played a big factor in winning a game. Wide receivers are going to get an A from SI. Amon-Ra St. Brown continues to be one of the most important parts of any NFL roster when it comes to the receiving core. Maybe you could just say the roster as a whole. Maybe it's fair to give him that. Even though he's got a broken hand, he's got a broken leg, he's got, broken this, that, and the other thing. The fifth-year wideout caught 6 passes for 92 yards. You could see he was somewhat limping a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up, whatever you want to say, as the game went on. I'm sure that ankle was getting pretty sore. The nice part is he's got a bit of time to let that thing rest. St. Brown, while talking about him, also set an NFL record for most receptions in the first 5 seasons of a career with his performance Thursday, as he broke Michael Thomas's record by reaching 511 receptions. In addition to this, Lions also got a strong performance from Jameson Williams. Jay Powell caught 96 yards worth of receiving as well on 7 catches. While Tesla, he might not get the bulk of the throws coming his way. I think everybody understands that's going to go to St. Brown. It's going to go to Gibbs. It's going to go to Jameson Williams. But he keeps emerging. And yes, we can all be revisionists, armchair quarterbacks, side chair, whatever you want to say, GMs, and say, we shouldn't have done this. We shouldn't have done this. All I know is this. This kid is going to be a weapon in the NFL for a while. He's big. He's fast. He's strong. He can block. He can get downfield. He can leap for the ball. We all know he can catch it with one hand. And what's he do more than any other rookie, basically wide receiver? He catches touchdowns. He gets open and he catches it. So he doesn't have any drops this year. Let that sink in. Tight ends, no Sam Laporta, no Brock Wright. Not a problem, apparently, as other things emerge. But the tight end group got to be, I'm not going to really dive into this one too much. My opinion, they mostly use the tight ends in blocking assignments, both in the offensive passing attack and the rushing attack. Offensive line gets a B-. The vast majority of why SI gave him a B-, I can summarize with this. Colleen, got roasted. I thought he gave up pressures on 4 of 8 dropbacks. It was even worse than that. It was 4 out of 7. So I was off by 1, but you guys get it. Colleen did re-enter the game at one point, did get a little bit of redemption on blocking for David Montgomery's long touchdown run. In my opinion, and looking at SI's notes, it looks like they both thought Frazier, or both of us thought that Frazier did pretty well in his opening debut in the NFL, and I think he could be something going forward. Defensive line, this is probably the one we got to, as Lions fans, feel better and better about. Defensive line brought some heat. We're going to be analyzing throughout the show why that is. After one sack in the previous 2 weeks, Lions pass rush got a massive spark from Alaquin Muhammad. Big Mo, as they often call him, sacked Prescott 3 times Thursday night. Also had a couple pressures on top of it. Defensive tackle Aleem McNeil got home for a sack. His first sack since recovering from the ACL. And you guys know Jack Campbell was nano inches away from having a safety from the Detroit Lions. Detroit's front seven was much more impactful than recent weeks with 5 total sacks on Prescott. The group also limited Javonte Williams to 3.9 yards per carry, a solid feat that held the Cowboys on 100 yards rushing once again. And you guys also know Aiden Hutchinson. He played a part in the running game. He did not get a sack, but the guy got a ton of pressures. He got 10 pressures in that game. Often was getting Dak Prescott off center, getting him moving, running around. You guys get it. Linebacking core, not really much to pick apart here other than to say they got an A-. Jack Campbell, it may not be just my opinion. I would love to hear some people who aren't even Lions fans' opinions. Where do you put him in the pantheon of the NFL? At this point, I started the year with him number 10. I moved him up in my mind to about number 5. Now I think he's number 1. I just can't find a linebacker in this league that gets to the quarterback, forces fumbles with regularity, and, can tip passes, play coverage. He is everywhere. And you're talking about a guy who controls the vast majority of the middle of the field. I think he's, I get to this day, there's still some Lions fans don't like him. But the fact that you've got perhaps the best running back and the best linebacker at number 12 and 18 a couple drafts ago, again, you could have had somebody else for sure, but you know what? I still think, hey, you hit a home run with who you took. Alex Anzalone combined for 7 tackles. Derek Barnes, interception, a couple big pressures on Dak Prescott, stuffed a few runs. I mean, we hadn't heard a lot from DB in recent weeks, and then Thursday happened. Secondary, I think we all understand that the Dallas Cowboys wide receiving core is going to be difficult for just about anybody to guard, especially in man-to-man principles. But the Lions secondary, let's also give them some praise. They did bat down some passes. They got an interception. They were put on islands and not enviable situations by any stretch of imagination, yet they won. The SI gave them a B-. Special teams, I don't think anybody's going to complain with this one. A B. Probably should be an A, but as you guys all know, 1 field goal got blocked. Coaching, A-. Give Dan Campbell some credit. He had to be sweating bullets every time there was a 4th down. He had to be sitting there itching to a certain degree saying, man, we should go for it. We should go for it. But you know what? Unlike most people with a gambling addiction problem, he was able to show some composure, punt the ball, kick field goals. One could argue that won the Detroit Lions the game. All right, let's see. Detroit Lions playoff odds greatly improve after Cowboys victory. SI.com story by John Macarone. One of the things we're all going to be talking about in the month of December, in Christmas, whatever metrics you want to say, is simply this. The Lions are in the playoff race. You can say, hey, we're not going to make it. And that's okay if that's where you want to go with it. You can also be forgiving and say, hey, I think the Lions are going to be the best team in December across the National Football League. Nothing wrong with that. Here's what we know. The Lions are playing meaningful football when it matters the most in the month of December, the final month of the year. Long-suffering Lions fans are going to understand what I'm about to say crystal clear. This is the greatest stretch in a 5-year window of Detroit Lions football history since the 1950s. Let this also sink in. In the last 3 to 4 years, Lions are going to have winning records. Unless they really fall off the map here, when is the last time you could say that about the Lions? The 1950s. So, in a nutshell, the Lions have an opportunity to get to the playoffs. They have a real good shot at getting the playoffs. And you're foreseeing in front of your own eyes the greatest 4 to 5 year stretch in Detroit Lions football history in 70 years. That's not going to work for everybody, I understand. But I also think a lot of Lions fans that don't feel great about things with the team, take a moment of pause, take a deep breath, and understand this. It's a whole lot better than it used to be. Not that we shouldn't have goals or aspirations to get to the playoffs, win the Super Bowl and everything else. But you know what, man? I'll settle for this way more than I will for another 2000 through 2010, 2012, 2016 through 2021. Because I've seen enough bad football year in and year out where I'm going to take a moment of pause and appreciate what we're seeing. Lions get 3 wins out of these last 4 games. My belief, they're in the playoffs. From there, I think they're the toughest team, wild card team to have to face going into the NFC playoffs. Come to your own devices with it. There's no wrong answers. All right. Best things we heard inside the Lions locker room after the Cowboys win. This is coming from the Associated Press for you. Let's dive into it. When it comes to Tom Kennedy, I'm going to paraphrase these things. I'm not going to give you direct quotes. I don't got that kind of time. Tom Kennedy just simply said this: hey, he loves being a part of this team, even though he has to understand he appreciates the last couple weeks just being on the roster, being with the guys. It is different than being on the practice squad because you get to be on the game in the field, and there's a different feel for the game when you're part of the 48 guys that are elected to go up and play during the game. Tom Kennedy taking care of those reps, taking care of that opportunity. If you feel like he's playing with reckless abandon every time he returns a punt, kick, or whatever, you're right. And he talked about it. He said, I know I'm one hit away on one of these returns from getting out of the NFL. He also knows this. He's been cut enough by other NFL teams, let alone this own team, the Detroit Lions, that he has to risk it, the biscuit, whatever you want to say, every kick, every play, because he knows he may never get another opportunity in the NFL. All right, moving on to Alex Anzalone. He was asked by reporters about the controversial offensive pass interference call on the Cowboys tight end Jake Ferguson. Anzalone said he'd talked all game long about what Ferguson had been doing. The refs just finally called the offensive pass interference. To the rule, is Alex Anzalone right in that Ferguson was, using certain aspects to try to get open against him? Yes, he is right. Do we ever see it called? That's where I'd say, wow, I think everybody was shocked by the call. Alex Anzalone does what every good athlete does in, basketball, football, whatever. You talk to the officials in a calm, convincing manner that, hey, can you please keep an eye on this? Can you please keep an eye on that? If you do it enough throughout the game, the officials are as human as anybody else. Hey, I see what he's talking about. And he just did it again. You know what? He did it a 5th time. You know what? I'm going to call it this 18th time that Ferguson did it. And that's ultimately what happened. I get Cowboys fans are upset. You should be. You know what? You should be. You're a Cowboys fan. But I'm also going to be fair here when I say this and say, hey, if you break a rule 16, 17 times in a game, you should get a flag thrown on you at least once. Alex Anzalone got the flag finally called. Did it matter? No, the Lions declined it. Move on from there. Aiden Hutchinson on his success pressuring, sacking Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. Again, paraphrasing, loves the fact that he got Prescott moving around a whole lot. Hutchinson was less than happy he didn't get home one time. But a lot of his pressures led to sacks for other people on his team, and that's really the purpose of it. Defensive line looks at pressures, sacks as a totality of the unit, not an individual. Hutchinson spoke about that. Alaquin Muhammad kind of reiterated what Aiden Hutchinson had to say. He says a lot of it's opportunities. I've been on different teams, different schemes, and the great thing is about this team, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you will get the opportunity. Hutchinson and other guys on the line flushed him out. I was simply the next guy in line to get the play. And I think he's 100% right. If, Alaquin Muhammad, Davenport, or whoever else you want to list, flushes him out a little differently, Dak Prescott, that is, who gets those sacks? It would have been Hutch. So I think Hutch is doing a fine job. Yes, we all want to see his sack totals go up. But you know what? If he's helping others get sacked, that's the name of the game. DJ Reed, did Campbell set a different tone this week? He said, basically, this is a playoff game. Every game here on out is going to be a playoff game. So we're all pretty hyped. We all know what's in front of us with the next game, and that's the mindset we're taking to L.A. Amon-Ra St. Brown, on the process he went through attempt to play against the Cowboys. And again, he gives credit to the training staff, working out, his girlfriend for helping him at home. He did a whole lot of stuff day in, day out, hour in, hour out to try to get back in the field. And you know what? He did a great job with it. Meek Robinson on biting on a double move that ultimately gave up a touchdown. He said that wasn't Brian Branch's fault. That was my fault. I was on an island. I should have played everything top down because we can't lose that. And I'm not going to say the explicit of curl. I just got greedy, man. I thought I had an opportunity to make a play. And you know what? He got beat over the top. Miles Frazier on making his NFL debut. I've done a lot of things in college, SEC and stuff like that. I'm not going to lie. The SEC is a tough conference, but it's no match for Quentin Williams and Kenny Clark. Just being able to go against people that I've watched in the draft and stuff like that from years back, just being able to go against them and hold my own, it was an experience. And I think he'll be vastly better for it. Last one I got for you, does Isaac Tesla, why the offense was clicking against Cowboys. Quote, I just feel like we had a nice balance. Run game, pass game, things really open up down the field. Obviously, Jahmyr St. Brown making a lot of plays down the field, so that was huge for us. And he's not wrong. These guys, these two are on fire. One could argue that Jameson Williams in the last month or so of the season has become an NFL number one wide receiver. But now that you got him doing that and you got St. Brown doing that, we miss Laporta. No questions there. But do we miss him a little bit less because J-Mo's emergence? That's possible. It's also opening up the bejesus out of opposing defenses for Tesla. You saw right before halftime, they took a kill shot. It was just a little bit off as Goff was getting pressured. That would have been a touchdown to Tesla. Tesla nearly had another touchdown in the second half on a deep shot from Goff. Goff and this Lions offense, if that line really holds up where he can now start utilizing deeper shots down the field with St. Brown, with whoever, Jameson Williams, with Tesla, or whoever else you going to throw into that mix, man, this offense could be off the charts good. Lions are now in desperate need of safety help. There are 4 outstanding caliber guys that we can get right now, originally posted on A to Z Sports by Mike Payton. This will be a part of the main topic of the day for sure, but let's dive into it. First one he's got on the list, Richie Grant. It's going to require that the Lions do some poaching from the Patriots practice squad, but in a nutshell, Grant has starred or played in, I should say, 68 regular season games and has started 33 of them. So you can get somebody who comes in right away, gives you a ton of NFL playing experience and starting experience. See if they go with that. Darryl Savage, most of us will remember him from playing for the Packers, but he was just released by the Washington Commanders on Thursday. He would need to clear waivers. Savage has played 95 regular season games, started 82 of them. He played 10 games this year, 8 for the Commanders, 2 at the Jaguars. Let's see if they want to take a stab at him and see if he's got anything left in the tank. Let's see, Justin Simmons. Most of us remember him. He is a former All-Pro, has not played this season. Word is he has been talking to a few teams about returning. One of those teams is the Texans. Simmons, I don't know if he's an All-Pro anymore, but he's probably got some abilities left in him. Would you go after him? Juwan Thornhill is the last one. He's a veteran that the Lions could approach off a practice squad. This time it would be from the Jaguars. Thornhill helped the Chiefs win 2 Super Bowls as a starter before heading to the AFC North to play with the Browns and Steelers. We'll see if the Lions call on any of them, but you do have some options you want to fill in. With that being said, we'll also be analyzing this a little bit more during the main topic of the day. All right, last the 5 glorious headlines down. Sorry if these ones are taking a little long. Just trying to go in a little bit more in depth with these because let's face it, with the Lions playing Thursday, you got a news cycle yesterday. Today and tomorrow is going to be pretty light on news, so trying to give you guys something. All right, ranking the 3 teams atop the NFC North. This is from NFL Network. So who do you think is the best team according to them in the NFC North? Well, if you said the Chicago Bears, you'd be wrong. They actually have the Chicago Bears, who are 9-3, as the 3rd team in the NFC North. And obviously that means the Minnesota Vikings would be number 4. They do point out Caleb Williams is 40th out of 42 qualifying quarterbacks in adjusted completion percentage, which accounts for drops. He's just 1 spot behind J.J. McCarthy and ahead of only Dylan Gabriel and David Mills. Jordan Love is 5th, by the way. So while Caleb Williams, he's had a pretty good season, at least if you want to go with what they're reporting on NFL Network, you might want to analyze the season he is having. They do put the Detroit Lions, who are 8-5, as the number 2 team. And they list a whole lot of stuff, good stuff with the Lions, bad stuff with, Brian Branch torn Achilles tendon, amongst other stuff. Defense that has been inconsistent this year. Same they're saying with the offense. They do think the Lions are starting to emerge, though, to become more consistent overall as a team. And obviously, they put the Green Bay Packers as the number 1 team, in their opinion, in the NFC North. All right, with all that done said, let's get over to the main topic of the day. And while, Brian Branch's injury, it's no joke. It will impact this team. There may already be an answer in place. 1, 2, 3, main topic of the day. If you don't know the individual in the photo, I'm going to help you out a little bit. His name is Lauren Strickland. He's played with the Lions for a couple seasons now. Just last year in the preseason, a whole lot of people were throwing flowers his way, saying he's the next Brian Branch. Why is that? He's not quite the same as Brian Branch, but he plays a ton like him. When analyzing that, that means he can blitz the quarterback, get after the running back, he can cover a tight end, wide receiver, and yes, a running back. Is he as good at it as Brian Branch? No, he's not. Is he as fast? Not quite. Is he as tall? Not really. But you guys get it. He's like a smaller version of Brian Branch. And because of that, I think if the Lions want to keep the same schematics they're doing, it's more than likely he's going to be elevated from the practice squad on over to the Detroit Lions 53-man roster. We'll have to wait till probably Sunday to start getting a real good idea what the Lions are going to do. But I do think he's a strong possibility to come in and play. As far as the other side, I think it's probably going to be Avonte Maddox filling in for Kirby Joseph. Now, with that being said, if Kirby does make his return against the Rams or Pittsburgh Steelers, then I think it's a strong possibility. You have Kirby one spot, Avonte Maddox the other spot, Lawrence Strickland filling in situational areas here and there, or it could be an amalgamation of all three of them. Thomas Harper, while I like him, you guys know he got concussed. He's probably going to miss this next game. We'll see about Pittsburgh. Lions need to win 3 games out of these last 4, and you're in the playoffs. If you somehow win all 4, maybe there's still a chance you can win the NFC North. I'm just not sure if that's going to happen. One other thing I want to throw at you guys real quick, if I get this on the screen. Hey, talking about a whole bunch of stuff with Gibbs as of late. Here's some other fact-finding information for you. Over the last 7 games, the Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs has a game with 250-plus yards from scrimmage, a game with 200-plus rushing yards, a game with 100 yards receiving, a game with 10 catches, a game with 14.0 yards per rush, a game with 3-plus touchdowns, a game with 75-plus yards rushing, 75-yard-plus rushing touchdown. No one else in NFL history has done that over their entire career. So let that sink in. I know you're hearing more and more people start listing Gibbs as, maybe even better than Barry Sanders. If you guys know Terry Foster, the longtime legendary Detroit area sports reporter, he has now elevated Gibbs over Barry Sanders in his mind. I'm not ready to go there. Maybe it's just my age. Maybe it's because I grew up watching Barry. But Barry's Barry, and I don't think you could replicate him in a science lab. I also want to be fair to Gibbs and say that dude is special. I get we all want the same amount of carries between Dave Montgomery and Gibbs, but Gibbs, you're seeing him used more as a wide receiver. Let that also be a part of some credit to the coaching staff. You're rolling out more and more packages with Gibbs as a wide receiver, Jameson Williams as a wide receiver, Tesla and St. Brown. So that's more or less 4 wide receivers. Those guys can fly. I think we all understand Gibbs, Jameson Williams, they're maybe the fastest people in the NFL. Tesla ain't that far behind. Nobody's going to say St. Brown's the fastest dude in the NFL, but he gets open unlike any other dude in the NFL. So while they've got injuries with, the tight ends group, we can also say the Lions coaching staff has found a way to still put a lot of threats out there on the field. All right, with all that done, set out of the way, what do you guys think about Lawrence Strickland? What do you do to help replicate or replace Brian Branch? You got to do what you can as a coach. There's nothing you can do to bring him back from the Achilles injury. He's going to be out for probably 8 months, maybe more. See how long it does take him. He's going to get every advantage offered to mankind with everything the Ford Field family is going to be able to offer them, plus the training departments over in Detroit. But from the here and now, is Lawrence Strickland your number 1 option to replace him on the depth chart? Do you make some sort of Scooby-Doo moves with the rest of the secondary? You've lost a whole lot of people in the secondary. Terry and Arnold ain't coming back anytime soon. Branch is going to be gone for a while. Kirby Joseph's a question mark at this point. What do you do going forward? Let's get to the Duke Crew comments section. We'll be here for about 25 minutes and trying to read through as many of these as possible. All right, give me a second as I scroll to the top of the screen. I see it's a lively chat this morning. Trey, what's going to be? Question mark. Some big games tomorrow, Coach? Yes, there are. If you're a Lions fan, exclamation point. Going to kick back and root against some teams. Sometimes that's just as fun as rooting on your own team, sitting there rooting against the team on the screen. I'm Big Eddie. Good morning. No doubt about it that there is a good path to the playoffs for this team. 1 game at a time, but I like our chances. Me too, my friend, and well said. Dave, is it just me or did our pass rush click better this week than the last month or so? So my unofficial opinion on it, what I can see with my own eyes calling the game, the Lions didn't ask the guys to block first, stop the run, then get to the quarterback. They just said, hey, go after the quarterback. And I think that's why you saw Hutch look much better, why I think you saw McNeil look better, and then obviously Mo looked better. I'll say this, though, too. I think there were some rotational guys like Davenport that got some heat in the backfield. In the easy way to say this is, in my opinion, the Lions coaching staff just let them play instead of having a schematic principle behind what they were trying to do. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Woo, good to see it. Jess, good morning, Bo, Eddie, and Trey. It's December, and we are playing games that matter. I agree with you on that. Go ahead. Who's the guy in the photo? Lauren Strickland, and now you know. Henry Moore, good morning, Coach Dan, the Duke Crew. What a team. What a podcast. Exclamation point. What a time to be a Lions fan. Woo! And always a pleasure to have you. Jess, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. I am more thankful that I don't have to listen to Muggs talk about mock drafts yet. Keep this year on point first. Let the Bears and Packers bust each other up. Yeah, and I know somebody asked the other day, I think a few of you guys have. I'm rooting for the Packers. I think it's going to take a whole lot to catch them. But you know what? If the Packers can beat the Bears twice, I think the Bears do have some challenging games, including obviously us to finish the year. We can control our own fate and get into the playoffs. Bo, when the snow hits, it should be meaningful football, a hot toddy, and a warm fire. I like it indeed. Gary, morning, everyone. And back at you. And more, absolutely, Jess. Morning, Bo. Morning, Gary. Don't forget, hit that thumbs button. Yeah, hit the like and subscribe if you would, please. And thank you for that, Henry. Drake, so what made Muhammad go off this last game? Question mark. Someone said Hutch had 10 pressures. Fake stat or not, that's a lot. I get people have their different opinions on, the stuff that the Lions PR puts out or whatever about pressures and all that stuff. Come to your own device. All I know is he got in the backfield a lot and got Dak Prescott to move around, shut down some runs. Me, that's meaningful play from from a defensive end. Doesn't have to be yours. Muhammad, if you, I don't know, it looked to me like they simply let the guys just go. Again, not just have to worry about blocking first, then trying to get to the quarterback. They just said, hey, go play football. Gary, morning, Henry. Hookadoo, grip morning, Duke Crew, one pride, Henry, Bo, Kerry, made the grip be with you and back with you, France. With Branch done for the season, how are we all feeling about who's getting moved into that spot? Well, now you know my feelings. Henry Moore, grip morning to you, Hookadoo. Cynthia, good morning, everyone. Exclamation point, don't want to lose Branch, but I hope he's doing okay. He's going to be pretty emotional probably for a while with the reality that his season's done. He can't be out there with his brothers on the field playing, etc. It's a lonely, lonely feeling. A lot of athletes who get hurt go through it. Hopefully the Lions have some people that can help emotionally with any of the injured players. All right, Eddie Moore, good morning, Cynthia. Glad to see your smiling face this glorious morning. I concur. Susan, good morning, Duke Crew and Coach. How long will Branch be gone? My guess is probably close to a year. If it's a year, he will miss most of the next season. Yeah, I think he'll miss about half of next season. Could be completely wrong. Maybe he heals up faster. But as far as being game ready, probably somewhere in that range. Bo, hey, Hookadoo, the grit is all over my patio. All right, Cynthia. In your opinion, Brian Branch is one special dog that can't be replaced. I agree. Queen Mary, today is a good day because once again, we are blessed to have another good day. Good morning, Duke Crew and Lions Talk Live, brothers and sisters. Well said, and always a pleasure to see you. Hoodoo, the white fluffy grit laughing out loud. Xavier, good morning, Coach Dan and the fabulous Duke Crew. Hope everyone is blessed. Exclamation point, same to you. T-Born, have a grit-filled day all. Same to you. Cynthia, good morning, Queen Mary and Henry Hookadoo. Xavier, what is the with B? We'll find out. Let's see. Kerry, Branch will recover without a doubt in my mind and will play next year sometime. He couldn't do it otherwise. Yeah, I think he'll power through and get healed up and ready for sure. Southwest, greetings, salutations, Duke Crew. Woo! Back at you, Cynthia. Well, thank you, Henry. Steve with an exclamation point. Steve Rogers, morning, Cynthia, Mary, Xavier, and all. Look at you, Queen Mary and Princess Cynthia. Good morning, Vincent. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke Crew. Woo! With an exclamation point. Queen Mary, my heart is a little broken. We have an injury on our baby. Brian Branch is out for the rest of the season. 100%. And you know he's got to be devastated. Like I was just saying, it's tough for any player to go through that. He'll power through it. He'll probably rise, be better for it. But you know what? He's going to be out a while. Great day. Branch out for the year. Time to get a Band-Aid and the safety and dig deep. Let's go, Lions. I like the way you're thinking. Jedi Sith. We seemed to go away last game. We seemed to go away last game from that McNeil and end. Am I right about that? Yeah, I don't recall seeing him there. I did see a lot of Davenport, a lot of Derek Barnes at defensive end, and then Alquid Muhammad. Excuse me. You guys get it. Big Mo. So the Lions seemed like they were rotating those three as the defensive end quite a bit there. I hope they reduce Aiden Hutchinson's snap count a bit. Doesn't have to be a big drop, but taking it from 95 to 85, I think would give him significantly more rest and energy. All right, Southwest, we are cursed with injuries. Instead of losing, everybody gets hurt too. So Hutch breaks his leg now now Branch is gone after playing the Cowboys terrible. Yeah, it's not fun news for sure, those injuries, but next man up is all you can say, I guess. Xavier, what is going on with Brian Branch? He tore his Achilles. String theory, good Lord. Who in their right minds gets up this early in the morning? Man, I get up about 5:30 or so every morning. Just who I've become, I guess. Great day. Achilles, Xavier. Yes, you're right. Lauren, good morning, Coach Dan, the Dooku. Back at you, my friend. Let me know if you're ever able to come on the morning show, Lauren. I mean, you're up enough where maybe if you want to, we'll get you on. Anymore, good morning, Mary. Southwest, median, Dre Day, etc. Cynthia, I really hope they keep Alquid Madan in that position. He was dynamic. He did a great job. Troy Apple, me when I'm leaving out that door. String. Look at who. Maybe we should boycott playing the Cowgirls. Bad things happen after we do. Could be. The non-laughers. Good morning, Dan and Dooku. Starters. Exclamation point. When we get into the playoffs, we should be one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs. Would be great going into the playoffs with that type of momentum. Exclamation point. I agree with that. 100% there. And great minds, right? Cynthia, morning, Steve. Roger, String Theory, Troy Apple, happy morning to you. 5 years ready. Think finally have an offensive line this year. It does seem to be improving. Gary, they should say the same thing with Lamb. All right. JK, tried popcorn situation moonshine. All right. Goff, what do you got? Good morning, Ducro. Am I crazy to think the first-year defense coordinator will stop the Rams? It's possible, especially if you get pressure on Stafford. He's like every other quarterback. Lions fans have seen that. Anymore, Tori, great to see you here. I concur. String theory. The non-laughers, I was thinking the same thing. Jess, good morning. Hoogadoo. Carrie, did Lamb get hurt after we played them last year? I'm not even sure if he played last year. So, Jay Williams and Tesla have really grown this season. I agree with that. Henry Moore, good morning, Jessica. What's shaking? We'll find out. Jess, I think the guy in the picture is Strickland. You are correct with that. Good eye for that. Marcus, Justin Simmons would be a good band-aid for Lions. I agree. And whether or not they'll get him, we'll see. The non-laughers wish we would have picked up Slade now, but he is refusing to play for Buffalo. I did see that too. Kerry, shoulder. Mr. Nico, good morning, coach and crew. Detroit needs to win and shock the system of the NFL. We are adapting to every setback. We have given the coaches some credit for that, and the players, of course, too. Strength theory, Tesla looks like he is really coming along and being integrated in the Goff's version. Yes, into his vision, etc. But I think some of that is opportunity is now there for more and more. Steve, good morning, coach. Good morning, crew. It is unfortunate we have lost Branch, but we will persevere. There is no quit in grit! Exclamation point. Woo! Well said, my friend. Bo, I have a conversation with a loyal Duke crew member last discussing why the Legion of Whom has done well. Any ideas, class? We'll see what everybody says. Mary Slay says he's going to retire. It happens, man. He's getting to about that age. JK Headspring. Let's see. Henry Moore Slay might have been waiting on a call from Brad. Maybe. Jen, good morning, all. Back at you. Lauren, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke crew. Woo! Always a pleasure, my friend. Henry Moore, good morning. Jen, String Theory. It is 7 a.m. It is 7 a.m. indeed. Hoodoo. Bo, it is a chance to shine, and the spotlight is on them. Well said, indeed. Bo, St. Brown really came alive in his 13th game. Is Tesla on track now? Fair question. Same old Soup. Good morning, Coach Dan and the Duke crew. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Hey, Soup, says Henry. Lauren, good morning, Bo Booth. Jay, good morning, Coach Dan. Same to you, Jay. The Rebel, good morning, Coach Dan and Duke crew. Woo! Exclamation points. JK, they can't I return date for Muhammad. Maybe he is an emergency player if Davenport, Hutch, and Alquin Muhammad go down. It's possible. At this point, all the thing we can say is he's developing on the practice squad. Coach will elevate him when they feel he's ready. Robert, good morning, Duke crew. Skippers, woo, never gets old. He is the greatest in the business. Lauren, surprise visit from Dan O'Damas. Sometimes you get surprised. Dan just got out of the shower. Could be facts. Dan O'Damas says, I can do. Any more Dan O'Damas. is behind the power curve. All right. Cynthia, haha, with an exclamation point. Bo, hey, Lauren, would like the Duke crew to see that video about throw the flipping ball to the white boy. Okay, we'll check it out. Strength theory. Dan Thomas is a couple days late and a couple dollars short. Facts being spit here this morning. JK, 3-game winning streak. Yeah, hopefully I'll take that. Marcus, forget the games, Dan Thomas. I need the lottery numbers. Hey, well said, my friend. Jen, I'm all aboard with these predictions. I think he was pretty spot on with them. Mary Smith, Daniel Thomas, you just made the Duke crew day. Hey, you got to love a little Daniel Thomas in your morning. Southwest, they're saying Brian Branch towards ACL. Oh, ACL instead of Achilles? I did not see that. Thanks for that, man. The Rebel, good morning, Coach Daniel, Duke crew. Woo! Exclamation point. Lions then, I hope Harper can play next week. I hope so, too. The fact that he's got 10 days, it's possible, I think. Not probable, but possible. Lauren Southwest, it's an Achilles. Okay, strength theory, or Bobo strength theory, it's a quantum thing. And we're all over the place with the quantum fields. Carrie, I don't ever root for rivals, but I hope the Cards fall our way today in the divisional games. We're not out of the division race. No, to your point, we are not out of the divisional race. But, some things are definitely going to have to go our way. Dennis, good morning. Dan and Duke crew, back at you, Courtney. Legion of Whom is legendary name for a Super Bowl winner. Exclamation point. I think you're right with that. 100% there, Courtney. Strength theory. I will give you today's lottery numbers tomorrow. Hey, nothing wrong with that, right? Free for all. Wouldn't it be sweet to knock off Chicago in the playoffs? Hey, how about we knock them off the last game of the regular season and then the playoffs? Beat them down big time. JK, give me a daily 3 and 4 numbers. We'll see if he can. Queen Mary, Harper might not play. I think he left with a concussion. Correct with that. Frank, I see a 0% chance to win the Super Bowl. Let's hope you foretell the incorrect future there, Frank. Phil, good morning. The Rebel 08. I hope Brian Branch is and gets back soon. I hope he is, 100%. Courtney, also Justin Simmons is available at DB. Yeah, let's see if they do go out and try to get him. Lauren, I just sent a video to Coach. Thank you for that. Will Nick Whiteside replace Branch? Ooh. Here's a thought. Could you move Raquel Singh to Brian Branch's spot and have Whiteside come in and play, cornerback? It might be something to look at. Courtney, I forgot about Nick Whiteside. Yeah, big, long, athletic guy for sure. Good dude. He has skills. He does have some skills. Mary, looks like he didn't spoil my day by bringing that negativity on here today. Take a nap and come back. Yeah. Be positive here today. Lions are in a good spot. Nick Whiteside is beast. I concur. Jason, good morning, everyone. Lions rule! Exclamation points. The Rebel, Daniel Damas. Yay, there we go. Never tell me the odds. I like the way you're thinking there, Miles Marger. Let's see, Gary. Tell them Queen Hookadoo. Spins my head while people don't like golf. I get it, man. The only thing I can say is the guy keeps setting records, keeps getting, something nobody else has ever done in the NFL. I mean, he's got, 3 or 4 jerseys in the Hall of Fame for doing this, that, and the other thing. And now, with his 309 yards Thursday, the fact that there's only one quarterback in NFL history that is throwing more 300-yard games faster than him, and that's Patrick Mahomes, maybe it's time to just give him some credit for what he's achieved and not focus on the fact that the guy can't run. He's done a whole lot of things nobody else on planet Earth or in the history of mankind have ever achieved as an NFL quarterback. And yet we focus on the fact, you know what? He isn't fast. Let's see, JK, 0% chance. Hey, so you're saying there's a chance. Lauren, they did great things up there in the O-line. They did. They made some changes for sure. Boo. So you're saying there's a chance for the exclamation point. There you go. Professor Could-Steele. What up, Duke crew? I was Susu teaching this week. Hey, good to have you back, my friend. How'd you enjoy the experience? The Rebel, I think the Lions will surprise the Rams. I'm down with that. Lions, they need to bring back Mullet. Dude, hey, not a bad idea. Let's see, Lauren, Professor Steele, good morning. Yeah, teacher Professor Steele. Although I guess a professor is a teacher. Okay, good morning, Professor Steele. Ryan, if we focus on Detroit football, a Rams win will put us in good position moving forward. Yeah, it would be massive for us in the standings. Lauren, white boy, the dang ball. Okay, how about TK85, the Rebel? I'm around the sun god. He really is, man. He heals fast, don't he? Professor Lauren S., good morning. Henry Moore, what's up, Professor Steele? Henry Moore, good Saturday morning, Lions fans. Excellent choice. This weekend feels great knowing we already have that W today. Have a good weekend, everyone. Woo! Have a great day. Bo, TK85 is alive and doing well. Henry Moore, good morning, Dad. Lauren, TK85 has really shown why he deserves a spot in the 53. We'll see if they keep him there. I mean, Right now, you have to say this. He's been the best punt and kickoff return guy we've had all season. I get, we've had some good stuff from people in the past, Khalif Raymond or whatever, but TK85, give him his flowers. He's done a real good job with the opportunity provided to him. Dr. Detroit, I'm glad we're using Tesla. I think we all are, aren't we, Dr. Detroit? Henry Moore, absolutely junior. Good morning, son. Professor Kurt Steele, TK should be NFC special teams Powell, but he will be a Dallas kicker. Maybe. Bro, Tesla is still a walking touchdown. All that dude does is catch touchdowns. Benjamin Brewer. In what world is the defense going to be in the Super Bowl? At full strength possible. With 6 stringers, impossible. Hey, so you're saying there's a chance. And there's a world where there is a chance. I like it. I like your outside the box thinking there, Benjamin. Lauren, Professor Steele, truth. Aquadi Muhammad. There we go, Professor. Henry Moore. This game brought back visions of last year. Oh, what a feeling. I'm down with that. Bo Booth. Benjamin, it's a gravitational constant for the new crew. I'll take that. JK, as long as you stay healthy, Tesla can do wonders. I wonder if he can play quarterback, play safety, play wide receiver, maybe punt and kick the ball. The guy seems to be able to do it all. Dolo Dynamite Campbell, definitely number 1 linebacker in the league. Let me know your thoughts on that. I think he is now. And I'm not trying to be a homer when I say that. I just struggle to think, to your point, Dolo Dynamite, I can't think of another linebacker in the league who's able to be that versatile, let alone productive in all facets of the position. Brandon Coffee, what do you got? Go Lions! Exclamation point. Lauren, Jack Campbell is generational. He might end up getting that tag. Jen, bring up Hassanin for the energy alone would be awesome. See if they do it. Lions Den looks like a safety to me. I didn't understand the call being reversed. All right. Kim, Captain Jack is all in the field. Lions hit a home run there. For those that are not a fan, get over it. I try to say, hey, even if you have an opinion against drafting him, you have to look at the results he's providing and his flexibility on the defense. Not often you find someone like that. Lauren, Jen, unless the injuries, they're injured, I doubt we will see Ahmed this season. We'll see. Gary, Mr. Brewer, respectfully, we're getting players back on a regular basis. It is true. Hookadoo, Jen, I'd like to see them bring up Hassani also. I think a lot of us would. Dr. Troy says the 90s. All right, maybe I'm missing what you're meaning there, but apologies about that. Hookadoo, but that was a long shot, Jen. Jen, right, Hookadoo, the Rebel. Don't forget, after the Green Bay game, we started the season talking about how impressed we were with the defense. This is fair. Jen Hookadoo, it is Davenport human. So is Davenport human. We'll find out. I'm pausing about there is a lot of good, but there is a lot of good for sure. There you go, for sure. Thank you for that, Dr. Detroit. Lauren, smash that like and subscribe and share. All the above. Queen Mary, yes, sir. Coach, it's been a long time coming. That's where I'm at with it, Queen. I mean, I get we all want the Super Bowl. The only thing I can say is if you have to win the Super Bowl to be happy as a fan, you're more than likely not going to be too happy. Only one team's going to get that thing. It'd be nice if the Lions could win it 20 years in a row. Is that probably going to happen? Probably not. What I do know is this. I've covered a whole lot of stuff with this team, and I can't think of another time. In the 90s, we'd be in the playoffs one year, out the next year, back in the next year, out the next year, back in the next year. And it was just very inconsistent for a lot of reasons. And I do think most of that was based on the discrepancies, the arguments. You would, as a reporter, even going down the tunnel, if you want to take the elevator up to the press box and booth and stuff like that, there would be arguments between coaching staff and front office staff right in front of the reporters. We weren't supposed to always talk about it. The rules were different then, but it's not so different now. Pat, I never lost faith in the Lions through all this. We will make the playoffs. Yes, indeed. The non-laughers. Branch is by far my favorite player on the defense. He will be missed. 1,000%. 1,000%. Benjamin Carey, we get back and lose 2 more. Those odds are bad. Okay. Hookadoo. Jen, good point. Free for all. The Rams game is the only one that scares me because of the Stafford factor. Rams are good. There ain't no doubt about it. But to your point, free for all, after that game, I think we got a real good chance against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Minnesota Vikings, I think they'll be in tank mode at that point, for draft positions. And then the Bears game, wait and see. They may have something to play for. They may not. I don't know. Now, Lambers, also, I think we can sweep the rest of the season. LA will be our toughest opponent. Exclamation point. I concur. Lauren, take your opportunities when you have them. You take them. Yes, you do. Egon, when your punter has 0 touchbacks this year, you can at least have some trust when you get in a spot where you're going for it less than 4th. There you go. JK, need Kirby back even if he's not 100%? Probably. Let's see, Dr. Detroit. Rosito is one of my favorites. There we go. Kerry, Mr. Brewer, all teams are losing players every game. That's not wrong. Lauren, JK, do you use Kirby and risk even more injury? I don't know if he can play safe, as a player. And I know somebody said, well, that's why Brian Branch got hurt. He played safe. If they feel he's good to go, if he feels he's good to go, you got to put him on the field because that's his employment. And could he get hurt? Absolutely. 1,000%. But even if you gave him 5 years to rest up in the NFL, I think we all get it. Your next play can be your last play. Steve, what do you got? How does Kennedy do it on those kick returns? He finds a way. He finds a hole. Mary, Coach got jokes this morning? Sometimes I do. Ken, what do you got? Kennedy was so good to see him play. He's been treated badly for this great performances. Hey, let's hope he rises and maintains that opportunity. Benjamin, doing well against Cowboys does not mean that will carry over to the good teams. No, every game is individually wrapped, right? A lot of people said, man, we'll roll all over the Giants. My view is the Giants were a pretty good team that just got in their own way and lost games. So everybody's going to have different opinions on the teams. JK, Lauren, I think it would be okay, but your risk would be too risky. All right, could be. Dolo, Branch, and Kirby, my favorite, and TA. I like them all. See, Lauren, I feel like the Legion of Whom has better chemistry over the other combinations of DBs we have this season. Yeah, there could be some facts to that. See, Dre Day, Benjamin, I'm noticing all teams are good teams until they lose to the Lions. Common narrative? Maybe. Ron, greetings, salutations, Coach Dan and Duke Crew. Link to the show. Had to take son to the wrestling meet. Exclamation points. Woo! Hopefully the son does well at the meet. Okay, it's always a backfield on defense that gets shaky. Could be. Pat, top 5 picks is entirely a long geesh. All right. Top 5 topics. Yeah. Sometimes I go on a little bit too much of them, but Pat, some of that is, like I was mentioning earlier, you get after a Thursday game, Friday, Saturday, the news cycle really goes down a lot because in this case, Lions have 10 days off. There's nobody really around in Detroit on the Friday, the Saturday, and I'm guessing tomorrow. They'll return to business as normal on Monday. So unless there's some breaking news, there's not much news. Phil, I was happy to see James Houston play well for Dallas. I like the guy. Most of you guys know that. Wish he was still here. The 302 kid. Good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Exclamation point. I really think we need to look at our strength and conditioning staff. We are once again decimated with injuries. I am concerned. Go Lions. Perhaps in the offseason they will do some visiting of that. Lauren Lyons, good morning. Coach Dan, Duke Crew. Exclamation point. Still basking in the afterglow of the victory over the Cowgirls. Go Lions. Woo! Exclamation point. Lauren, Pat, it happens. It's easy to dig into things and give your own opinion. Yeah, for sure. 302 kid. The extra sweet to beat Dallas, and it is extra sweet to beat them, and we got them. Dolo, Savage gone, weak. Bills scooped him. Sorry to hear that. The Rebel, I totally agree, Coach. Exclamation point. I like the way the offense is performing and functioning. Yes, indeed. Bo, didn't Slay refuse to sign the Bills? I think that is correct. Lauren, I'm still not convinced our offensive line issues are fixed. Probably not fully, but it seems to be getting better, right? Let's see, Lauren. Bo, he never showed up for the facilities. Correct with that. J.K. Slay wants to retire. I think he should or go to Detroit one last time. At this point, it's really not to say the Bills put in a waiver wire claim. They would have to regulate that for him to have the ability to move on to wherever he wants at this point. Benjamin, Lions should be at least 10-3 right now. The best coaching was against Dallas. If only that was present from the start of the season. Yeah, the only thing I can say, Benjamin, about coaching is it's like being an athlete. It's not like you can maintain this level all the time. You have good games, bad games, situational stuff, and player performance is the same way. No player is here all the time. You go up and down. You just try to find a medium, I guess you could say. So your downs are never that bad. Lauren, I realize that the scheme changes game by game, but if our beloved Lions played the Rams like they did this past game, they can beat them in that like fashion. Yeah, in your opinion. Yeah, I get you there. JK chase that ring 100%. Dynamite Bills claim Savage. Ron, I had the Lions in Green Bay 1A and 1B, the Bears 2, and the Vikings 3. I'll go with that. The Rebel, I believe we're going to end up second or out and out, winning the division. I'll take that if we win the division. No problems for me. Streak theory, is Strickland a linchpin? We'll find out. Gary, we need to play the rest of the season with the same type of urgency. Can't let up and any of the rest of the way. I agree with you. Dynamite, go get Lewis Klein. We'll see if they do. Jay, Chicago game will be for us to make the playoffs, and the Packers will win the division and knock the Bears out of the playoffs. Maybe. I totally agree. Kerry, Lauren, 284 watching, only 72 likes. The math isn't matching people. Or is it mathing people? How about that? If you guys can, hit the like and subscribe. How about that? Xavier, that is terrible news about Brian Branch. Excellent point. Let's throw some prayers his way. Duke Crew, 1,000%. Lauren, go smash that like button. It helps the channel. Yes, it does. Pat liked. Ron, I see Gibbs is a new version of Marshall Faulk. Ooh, that's a good comparison for sure. Extreme Chef, St. Brown equals Hines Ward. Probably a lot of truth. Dave, Gibbs may be my overall better total football player than Barry Sanders, but Barry is still the best running back of all time. That could be Barry Sanders, yeah, for sure. Gibbs is Sanders 2.0. Laughing out loud, says Lauren Hogadoo. I'm one of those 72, Lauren. Xavier, what is going on with Hassani? He's developing on the practice squad. Pat, morning, Hogadoo, free for all. It seems like the most dangerous job in the NFL is the Lions DB. I think some of that is because we play so much man-to-man. It does wear on a body a little different. Lauren, he is on the press squad. Labro West Baseball. I heard Gibbs has more moves than a $1,000 individual working on the sideline sometimes. Laughing out loud. Egon, the size of our DBs is irrelevant. Bob Sanders played big and was much more feared with guys' choice aside. Yeah, Bob Sanders played downhill. He did also play in a predominantly Tampa 2 system that allowed him to come down to the box and smash people. Top of the morning, Pat. Time to roar Detroit, 1,000%. Moonscar Blade, good morning, Duke Crew, brethren. Exclamation point. Love the thumbnail, by the way. Let's see. Dolo Dynamite, Brian Branch equals Ed Reed. Kim, I have bad mojo for watching the competition. Too often the team I want to win doesn't, so I usually avoid them. All right. The Rebel, how good is Strickland in your opinion? Mine, he's not bad. Of course, it's really been about a year since I've seen him. In a scale of 1 to 10, let's say Brian Branch is a 9. I would say Strickland's like a 7, maybe a 7.5 if he's really playing well. But I haven't seen him since a preseason game. Dynamite and Kirby equals Darren Woodson. Fair comparison. Pierce, wasn't Strickland the player from the preseason who almost broke his neck? Ooh, I'd have to check on that. I don't remember, Pierce. Maybe you're right with that. JK, is Vake's mistletoe okay? We'll find out. Gary, Pack isn't the same team without Kraft. Yeah, the Pack isn't. If they beat Chicago twice, we stand a good chance. I think we stand a real good chance that happens. Steve, cheering for Chicago is like kissing your sister. It's gross, it's weird, and it just does not feel right. But cheering for Green Bay also feels that way. Maybe they can tie and both lose. All right, if they can do that, that'd be something. Let's see. J-Mo Lion King, good morning, everyone. Go Lions. Back at you. Robert Frazier going to help us big time. Lord's will is Ahmed, the man from Egypt, coming up this year. Hopefully he can bring the plague for opposing offenses. How about that? J.K. Groin, the Rebel, second division is ours to lose, in my opinion. Exclamation point. It's a good way. Winning the division is still in play. Yes, indeed. Jay, 3:30 a.m. every morning. Hey, sometimes you got to get up in the morning, right? The Rebel, every team is hurt comes this time of season. I agree. Johnny V, good morning, Duke Crew. Exclamation point. I heard Whiteside has come back. He has. What about Strickland and Canale? Are either available? Strickland is on the practice squad, so yes, he's available. Pat, is Malcolm Rodriguez back and healthy? He's been back with the team for a little while. I've only seen him on the field once or twice, I want to say. Not a ton. Bo, Lauren, you have a good radio voice. Come back on for Coach and the Duke Crew. Yeah, let me know if you want to come on sometime. Monday through Friday, I work at 5 a.m., but I'm available Saturday and Sundays. If either day works for you, let me know, man. Let's see, Hogadoo. Yeah, Lauren, you did great as a guest. I concur. Ziggy and friends, good morning, Captain Dan and the Duke Crew All-Stars. And back at you. Southwest, I'm sorry, but the injury thing is horrible, not Branch. Yeah, I'll go with that. Lauren, Bull Booth, Hogadoo, thank you, fellas. I need to start making content again. Laughing out loud. Johnny, I can see for miles and miles. Welcome aboard, Frazier. I see what you did there. Bo, the Birds, Johnny V. Aubrey with Green Sanitation. Can't wait to take over SoFi, Las Vegas Flintstone. Enjoy the game out there, my friend. Let's see. Steve, Whiteside is my guy. Black Jared Jones, Grip Baby Grip. Black Jared Jones, hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you very much. More. I heard 310 and 3693 are good numbers. We shall see. Lauren, our game against Dallas was UFL show. Cause Aubrey Baton's tripping Whiteside, all right? Tripping Whiteside. Vontae Maddox made an impact coming for Arbor. Yeah, and I like him. He's got some ball skills, Bo. Little Lawn Laughers, I love the victory weekend. Exclamation point. Woo! Enjoy it. Attila, go MSU. Number 4 Duke versus number 7 Spartans. Noon from East Lansing. We'll check it out. Johnny V, what do you got? I'm glad we made a couple of field goals. We probably need to advance in the playoffs. We'll probably need to make some field goals to advance the playoffs. Till on, heard someone else mention the Rakia Singh and to safety on Whiteside to cornerback along with calling up Strickland and Hollett. We'll see. Yeah, so those who know, Rakia Singh has played safety in the NFL. He's played cornerback, so it does make some sense. Gary, what's going through, though? It gets tough. When the going gets tough. How about that? I just killed that one. Mike, fix the playing service. More injury. Can't have nice things. Trade Branch. We'll see if they do. How about them Cowboys? I predicted 400 yards for Dak, and if CD was healthy, it would have been 450. Huh? I'm just glad we won. How about that? Attila Hunt, fix the service of the entire league. The worst injuries have happened on the road or when 2 Lions players collide together. Yeah, unavoidable injuries like that. Michael, getting here late. Go Lions. One pride. Exclamation points. MSU beat Duke, please. We'll see if they can, Mike. Johnny, the Who, Bo Booth, I enjoy your commentary. Mike, nobody has more season injuries to starters like Detroit. That might be accurate. Ron, go, yeah, WMU Broncos. There you go, exclamation point. Woo! Yes, they're playing in the MAC championship. I want to say at noon today. Pretty sure the Sarge confirmed that for me. Let's see, Bo Booth, Johnny V, 8 Mile High popped into my brain. There you go, Bo. As long as we don't get fooled again. Exclamation point. Lauren, later, Coach Nduku, another great show in the books. Have a great day, everyone. Same to you. Bo, happy trails, Duke Crew. All done and dusted for another day. See you tomorrow. We'll see you then. Attila, by the way, the average concussion protocol length is 9 days. So Harper might just make it the start of the process soon. Yeah, might see. Or until the Hunt, true, but by the way he staggered getting up, he looked pretty bad. Yes, indeed. Yeah, you could tell he'd been rocked. JK, my me 2-year-old, yay, okay. Lauren, happy trails all. Have a great day. Go Lions, one pride worldwide. Woo, have a great one, my friend. The non-livers, DJ Reed was getting beat like he stole something, and then he stole the ball. I see what you did there. Thomas, if Vaki could stay healthy, he has played safety. He did in college, not in the NFL. We'll see if he can switch over. Miles Margaret, 8-5, one pride. I'll take it. We're going to do Happy Trails, Duke Crew, one pride worldwide. And back at you. Thomas, DJ Reed, better play, better now. Exclamation point. He looked terrible. Mary Smith, have a great day. See y'all in the morning. We'll see you then, Queen. Dre Day, game-ending pick does look bad, huh? It did. Well, he made a play at the end. Hoogadoo, Shadow Man, good morning. Miles Marker, Grit wins. Face Wilson, good morning. Grit, everyone, back at you. How you doing today, Face? The Face Man. Sounds like the 8 team. Henry Moore, have a glorious weekend, my friends. See you tomorrow. We'll see you then. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and get out of here. If there is breaking news today, I'll get it to you as soon as possible. It would be so kind. Hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit all the buttons. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do something kind for somebody you don't know. Be a good human being. See you on the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.
Excuse me, sir. Would you... Donations to Reverend Moon? Jews for Jesus? Read about Jehovah's Witness? How about Buddhism? Help Jerry's kids? Oh, yeah. Scientology? Or nuclear power?